EnglishSimmer here. Whenever I do an interview or I hop on a podcast or someone wants to talk to me about The Sims and the future of The Sims and what I would like to see, I always get asked the question, what is a pack that has never been done before in The Sims franchise that you would personally love to see? And whenever I hear that question, I freeze up. I never know what to say. I know a lot of people would probably say like a theme park or, you know, like a zoo expansion. Those aren't really the gameplay that I enjoy. They feel like kind of like a one-off sort of scenario that I wouldn't personally get much use out of. I, however, thought I would take that question as inspiration for this video because isn't that what all good YouTubers do? Just take creative liberties. And it's also been a while since I've just like sat down and had like a full-on discussion, like vlog style video with you lot. And so today I thought I would discuss careers in The Sims that I really want to see in The Sims 4. Let's be real, we keep hearing headlines of The Sims 4 lasting for like numerous more years, and that's been going since about 5 years ago. I preface these videos with the same thing all the time, but of course I want the bugs fixed, I want the glitches fixed. There's definitely packs that I would want to see above these careers. However, I just thought I would talk about jobs that some of them we've had in past Sims games, some of them are new, and why I think they would fit in quite well with like The Sims 4. Starting off strong with one that I know you probably all know that I want. I really want a mechanic career. I kind of want cars in The Sims 4. I know a lot of people say it wouldn't work with like a closed world. What's the point in cars? I use that same argument for horses. I'll be real with you. I fucking hate them. I don't want them back in The Sims 4. I want cars selfishly because I really want a fixer-upper car. I want to start out with like a heap of junk and turn it into a classic, or a heap of junk and turn it into a motorbike. I think that would be sick. If you're ever thinking, why do we need cars in The Sims 4? If you have the opportunity to go play The Sims 2, go do it. I think that the mechanic career could be like a semi-active career. I think you could choose to do it at home, or you could just choose to go to a rabbit hole like garage that you work at. I think that you could work on fixer-uppers if you were at home. I think it would be really cute if like your neighbors would like tootle on up in like, say for example, their Volkswagen Beetle, and they just like come up in their bug and they're just like, hey, I need some work done. My exhaust is going. And you can just like use some repair parts, and then they pay you for the work that you've done. If you've done a bad job, you obviously get money like knocked off your pricing. If you do a good job, then maybe they give you a bonus or a tip. I think you should also be able to like send cars that are like unfixable to like the scrap metal yard so that you get like repair parts back. Is it because I am attracted to the virtual dad that is the dad from Life is Strange 2? Maybe. You know what? I'm going to unpack that at a later date. Moving on to my second dream one, and if you know me, you will know this one already as well, but it is, of course, tattoo artist. Again, I think this could be semi-active. I think you could either choose to do this at home or like go around to sim houses. You could have like a portable tattoo studio, which I don't know if that's the most hygienic thing, although I'm fairly sure there probably are like multi-millionaire tattoo artists who probably do home visits. I think this could work with an object that we already have in the game, and it is of course the Get Famous like makeup chair. I think if your Sims just sat in it, and then it could take you into Create a Sim and you could decide on what tattoo you want to give your Sim. Again, if you do like a good job, then it turns out the way that it looks in Create a Sim and you get paid more, they can tip you. If it turns out badly and it's just like a splotch on their arm, then they have to pay to remove it, and also you probably lose out on your money because they will ask you to either like fix it. I do think a tattoo artist would be a better career if we had free placement of tattoos, because obviously in The Sims 4 you just head into Create a Sim and you get what's on the tin basically. You can't move it around, you can't like scale it, you can't change the color unless they're swatches. So this one I'm not like desperate for, I just think it would be quite nice for storytelling. The next one is a career taken from The Sims 3 Generations, which is so many people's babies. I wish I had held Generations title tighter at night. That's all I'll say. But I really love the daycare system in The Sims 3 Generations, and I really wish that it was a thing in The Sims 4. I feel like this one you could get away with running a daycare out of your own home. However, I know that's not everyone's forte. I know not everyone wants like a whole nursery in their house, and that's not very viable, especially if you're just getting into this career and you don't have a lot of money. So I do think that they could give you like a lot to do this on, so you just like go to work, but then it's active in that lot, kind of like the get to work careers. I want more sports careers. How is it that the only like sport career that we have is a bodybuilder? No, you have bodybuilder. I can't remember the other one, to be completely honest, but I think the sports career should be split up. I think there should be an update where you get to like choose what sport you want to get into. Obviously we have soccer, aka football, not to dunk on you, which leads me into basketball. We have skiing, we have snowboarding, we have rock climbing, we have so many freaking fitness activities. However, we don't have any jobs to like represent them. Like, I'm not even a sports lesbian, but like, come on now. Hell, for the first like 5 parts, you could just have it be like one athletic career, but then you could like differentiate into your actual sport, be it football, be it basketballer, or if they ever decide to add in like a ballet bar. I know we have dancing and get together, but I would really like a dancer career. I feel like there's so much to be done with athletics. Can you tell? Can you tell I'm not into sports? Besties, I did a whole video on this one, so I don't know what to tell you, but if you haven't seen that video, I will link it down below. I actually think it was a very good video, and I did actually kind of impress myself. I really want bans in The Sims 4. It's no secret. It's my petition for bans in The Sims 4 after 8 years, and I think you should all go watch it, aka sign it. I didn't actually start a petition, but I might. I could if I wanted to, Sims team. I could do it. Following on from bans, kind of going down the same road, I hate myself. You all know that I absolutely would quite literally sell my right arm. This is my dominant arm as well. Imagine the price that I could get for this bad boy for a hobbies expansion pack. Yep, you heard me. You all know it. I want more hobbies in The Sims 4. I think it fleshes out The Sims 4. I think there's so many hobbies in the world, and it's actually very quite rude how little is represented in The Sims 4. I do think if we ever get ones in the future, I would love it if like more careers were tied to them, aka for example, the sculptor career from The Sims 3 Ambitions, where you used to be able to go look for like scrap metal. Again, would come in handy with a mechanic career. You could like maybe have a mechanic and a sculptor in the same house, and they could share parts and like have a junkyard or a scrap yard. And also, if we ever get like pottery in The Sims 4, I would love like a potter career. Like, I guess they tend to play it that you can just like make money off stuff that you sell, but I would love to have like more careers attached to them. For example, the like florist career. Modeling is one that I know that the community have wanted to see for absolute years. Obviously, we already have a lot to do with photography. We also have quite a bit of like fashion. We have the stylist career, which is a freelancer career, I'm fairly sure, which we haven't had a freelancer career in feckin' ages. I feel like there was a time period when like Get Famous came out that we were getting freelancer careers in like almost every update, and we've not had one in like over 2 years now. I keep forgetting that this pandemic has lasted like 2 years. It's literally wiped 2 years off my life. It might even be 4 years since we've got a freelancer career. But I think, again, this could be semi-active. I think you could either choose to go to shoots like in a rabbit hole. Maybe it could work like acting. And so, for example, you have to go to like a rabbit hole audition, and then if you actually get cast in that modeling job, then you could actually go to a location and they like spawn in an actual AI photographer, kind of like you're taking the photos. So it's kind of more of a photographer career, but I think it would be sick if like you could like arrange how your model looked. You could send them into Create a Sim. If they gave you like a brief of what they wanted you to follow, for example, say it was like a bridal campaign, then you could put like one of the new wedding dresses on them and you could like do them up, and then you'd like head down to a beach in Tartosa if you had it, or just like any beach if you have other packs, or just like a place like maybe under a wedding arch, and maybe even like edit them up and stuff and then like send them off to like magazines. I think it could be so freaking cool. I obviously think that you could have like fashion shows, kind of following on from modeling, I guess, depending on how you look at it, I feel. I think a hairdresser and makeup artist, I think this could maybe be like a double, like a 2-for-1, buy one, get one free. Love a good bog off. Wow, calm down, Tracy Beaker. But using, once again, Get Famous as like hair and makeup chair, like we quite literally already have that in the game. And we already have like hairstylists and makeup stylists, but we don't actually have a career for that. I would probably like to see this in a Get Famous refresh, but I do think that it could come as a career, and I think a lot of people would like it. I think basically, again, they give you a brief, like the client is like, hey, this is what I'm looking for, this is the style that I want to go for, I want it in this outfit category. Say if they have, again, I'm using weddings a lot. Can you tell I'm still not over my wedding stories being as broken as it was? It's imprinted on my brain. Call me Jacob Black. All of these are very samey, but I think once we actually get that in the game, if it were to ever happen, I think there's a lot that you could do with like a tipping system or like a failure system. I have my second page, and literally the only notes that I've written are like dream home decorator, but gardening. Pop-ups like an astronaut. So these ones are kind of like on my back burner ones. I would say the ones that I just listed are my most important. Landscaper. Not manscaper. Landscaper. I would love it if we had like a dream home decorator, not as buggy, and also not like a full game pack. Please do not get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. I'm not asking for a repackage of Dream Home Decorator. I don't like Dream Home Decorator. It's not my favorite pack. It doesn't work. I'm not a fan of it. But I think now that we have that in the game, I think it would be, I don't want to say it's quite easy. I know I always say that. Like, I hate putting like the label of easy when I'm not a game developer. I don't know the work that goes into this stuff. Like, maybe reskinning that could actually cost a lot of money. And if that's the case, yeet this idea out the window and never think of it again, Sims team. Please erase it from your memories. If I had a ray gun right now, I would use it on you. Sorry, that was aggressive. I take it back. But I just really love plants, and I think it would be cool if you could have like a dream home decorator scenario, but they're like, hey, I want you to landscape my garden for me. Could you add a pool in? Could you add like a little patio area? Were gardens even included in Dream Home Decorator? I'm fairly sure they weren't. I'm fairly sure it was just interior. Although technically you could make over their garden if you wanted to, because technically there's not a limit on what you can and can't do in that pack. Estate agent. I think this one would be quite fun, but this was the one that I think could have like pop-ups like an astronaut career. I think it would be a rabbit hole career, and I would be happy for it to be a rabbit hole career. And the like interactive pop-ups that you get when you like go to space are really sick, and I think that they could tie those more into careers. I miss having like more of a risk factor in careers. I know some of like the Get Famous ones, like you can choose to do something that will get you like fame, but it will give you a demotion. I like that risk factor. And I think if you had an estate agent's rabbit hole career, you could like choose your own adventure basically. You could either listen to like what your buyers want, and you could go with like the safe option where you know you're probably gonna like sell it, but it might not be the most amount of money, or you could just go completely off script. I'm thinking like a Place in the Sun where they're like, here's our wild card, and you give them like a wild card option, and like obviously if they go for it, then it could earn you like so much more money, but if they don't, like you could lose out on the client. I just think it would be sick. I also think it would be a very easy way to make money. I think the most profitable career right now in The Sims 4 is the military, which are we surprised that that's the one that earns the most amount of money in the game. Personal shopper, this could kind of go in with like the makeup and hairdresser sort of situation, but again, you get like a client brief, like say if they have an event coming up, or if they just want to change their style. Like imagine Nancy Landgrab like calling you up and being like, yo, bitch, because she would call you bitch, but she would mean it derogatory. She wouldn't even mean it in a friendly way. She'd be like, yo, I just got a promotion and I want to look like more fancy, or I want to look like a yummy mummy. Like all those young mums I see picking their kids up from school. I want Malcolm's friends to be singing Malcolm's mum has got it going on. Malcolm's mummy milkers. Okay, Enough with this phone call, Nancy. Goodbye. But it gives you the brief and then you hop into create a sim, and if you follow the brief correctly, maybe they just want to like certain color, considering we have favorite colors right now and they don't really do much in The Sims 4, but they are there. I feel like that sums up The Sims 4. Dentist, I mean, regular old rabbit hole career, 10 levels. We have a doctor career, but it would be quite nice just to have dentists, I guess. Dentist represent. Are you scared of the dentist? I'm personally not. Although I haven't been in like 2 years, so maybe I am. I know we technically already have a writer in the game, which technically you could just write poetry if you wanted to. Like you could only stick to poetry books. But I think it would be really cute if we had like a freelance poet career. Like you just sat and wrote poems. Completely off track from where I was going, but I miss just like drawing on paper and like scrunching it up and like throwing it away. And I also miss like writing notes in paper. Everything seems to be done on either a tablet or a computer, which I know is like quite true to real life as I'm reading my notes off an iPad, but I do miss the paper element in the game. But yeah, I would really love it if like you could host like poetry slams or like poetry competitions. I would just really like a poet, you know? Maybe it's the hopeless romantic in me. Maybe we're the new romantics. Dog walker. How do we not have a dog walker career? That could just be like an odd job, honestly, or like a freelancer and you just basically go around and walk dogs every day. Who doesn't want that? Or cats. You can't actually walk cats in The Sims 4. So don't spend your money like rejigging cats, please and thank you. Leave cats and dogs in the dirt. It doesn't need a refresh. Let her be. And finally, geologist. We have some really cool like geology assets in The Sims 4. We have all of those little like globules, the elements that you can collect. We have all of the fossils that you can collect. And again, this could really just be a rabbit hole career, but I think it would be cool to like try and tie them into like the base game stuff that we've seen. Which, speaking of needing a refresh in base game, how could I not have mentioned this when I talked about hobbies? The freelance carpenter. I firmly believe that that woodworking table, she is so hard done by. She gives so much and expects so little in return. She has not been updated. She has never been looked at since base game, and she deserves better. She's one of my favorite objects to ever exist in any Sims game ever, and she needs a makeover. She really just needs some tender loving care. I will do it. I will polish her up. She will be beautiful in my eyes and my eyes only. Can we please get some more furniture for her? There's so much that you could do. Baby chairs, baby beds, like, oh, just imagine being able to like create a toddler bed and like pass it down through the generations. Little rocking chairs, little rocking horses. Oh, there's so much potential there that is just so unseen, and I just want to fight in her corner consistently. I think she needs a career tied to her. Like I said, a freelance carpenting career. I love her, and I want to defend her until the rest of time. I swear, when The Sims 5 comes out, I'm going to be playing The Sims 4 with that woodworking table and for that woodworking table only. She deserves rights, and I'm here to fight for them. But there we have it. That's all of my careers, my dream careers that I want to see in The Sims 4. I want to know yours. This is my favorite part about these types of videos, is that I get to yell at you for 29 minutes and 50 seconds. But yeah, I want to know what your dream careers are in The Sims 4. I want to know, what do you think needs justice? What would you love to see in the game that maybe hasn't been in any of the Sims games? Maybe it was a past career that you would like to see brought back to The Sims 4. I feel like there's so much that they could do with careers. Careers are actually one of my favorite things about The Sims 4. I'll be the saddo who says it. I love sending my Sims to work. Is this what they wanted? Sounding all very corporate and capitalistic of me. Basically, I love capitalism. I'm joking. I just think they're some of the most fun elements in The Sims 4, so thank you all so much for sticking with me. Let me know what you absolutely would love to see as your dream careers in The Sims 4. Thank you all so much for listening to me prattling on about this. I very much appreciate you, and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye, pals.